you order a salad at a restaurant and you think you're making a healthy choice, right? Not necessarily. Depending on what kind of dressing you use and exactly what goes on that salad, you could be consuming as much fat as if you were having a cheeseburger. Nutritionist Melanie Zook joins us now with a look at ways we sabotage a salad. Hi, Melanie. How are you?
Hi, Colleen. How are you doing?
Fine, thank
Great.
you. Fresh Start Nutrition, we should mention, is your company.
That's right.
I love this segment that we're doing because I think so many times people go out and they think, oh, I'll just have a salad. And they get it with fried chicken on top of it, those crispy wonton noodles, they put on ranch dressing, some bacon, and you've just ruined the whole point of having a salad.
Not quite a salad. That's
right.
right. That's right. And dressings themselves, one serving of a 2 tablespoon size of serving can have up to 20 grams of fat and 200 calories.
In 2 tablespoons?
In 2 tablespoons, which is not much, right?
Oh, my word. Okay.
Right. The good news is that most dressings are plant oil based, which means that fat, thankfully, is going to be of the healthier unsaturated type. So that does help. But don't choose fat-free dressings, and that's for 2 reasons. First, your body needs fat to help absorb the fat soluble vitamins of vitamins A, D, K, and E, as well as a phytochemical called a carotenoid. So, you know, you definitely.
So you want some fat to get the health benefit of the salad. You want some fat so that your body can better absorb.
Sometimes the toppings will have fat, such as olives
Sure.
or nuts. But if not, you know, some of the fat in dressing will certainly help with that absorption.
When you're choosing a salad dressing, how many calories should 2 tablespoons have, and how much fat should it have?
Well, that's really going to vary, and I think as we go through the different ingredients and everything that we might cover that.
Okay.
But, that's really going to vary depending on what you're making that dressing with.
Okay.
The other reason to avoid fat-free dressings, however, is that the fat is often replaced with sugar or other additives. For example, this fat-free version of this ranch, the second ingredient is corn syrup. The 4th ingredient is high fructose corn syrup. Neither of those ingredients is in the full fat version. The second ingredient in this fat-free poppy seed dressing is sugar.
And that's what we want to avoid. We need to avoid the sugar and the high fructose corn syrup. Okay.
That's right. Another ingredient to watch for when you're choosing a dressing is sodium. The refrigerated version of a dressing is often lower in sodium. In fact, this refrigerated champagne vinaigrette actually contains over 100 milligrams less per serving of sodium than the shelf version.
Okay.
My
family loves this dressing right here, too.
Oh, it's not necessarily, you know, just a comparison.
Okay,
I'm not necessarily recommending any of these or anything.
Oh, Melanie, you don't hurt anyone's feelings. It's good to know. This is information I think people need. Yeah.
Now, the light dressings also tend to contain more sodium. And so, for example, this light Italian dressing contains over 100 milligrams more per serving than the regular Italian. So just watch, you know, label compare.
Okay.
Now, vinaigrettes are often a good option, mainly because they coat the salad better, so people tend to use less, but they're not necessarily lower in fat and calories. For example, this vinaigrette contains more fat and more calories than this creamy blue cheese dressing.
Oh, my word.
Yes.
Okay, so now, you really have to investigate and read labels.
You do, and the healthiness of a vinaigrette depends on which oil it's made with and, of course, how much oil it's made with. So
the better option then is it to make it at home?
Absolutely.
To make your own dressing,
Absolutely.
I guess, because as you're saying, you know, the fat-free isn't necessarily the best option, and the lower, so, you know, the light version isn't necessarily the better option. I guess if you make it at home, you have control.
You know what's in there.
Okay.
Absolutely. When you are dressing a salad at home, even if you're not ready to make your own dressings, you can dress it simply with some extra virgin olive oil, maybe a choice of vinegar. You could use red wine vinegar, champagne vinegar, balsamic, which is, you know, pretty typical. You could also put some fresh or dried herbs, or even a splash of citrus.
I like to add garlic. I've been making my own dressing. I put garlic and I put olive oil and I let the garlic sit in there so that, and I put a little bit of sea salt and then the balsamic vinegar, and it is so delicious. That's healthy, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And fresh.
Okay.
You can, if you are choosing to have a store-bought or a pre-made dressing at home, you could also thin it out to decrease the fat and calories. For creamy dressings, you could use a low-fat milk or a plain yogurt. And for vinaigrettes, you could thin that with vinegar, with water, even with some vegetable stock.
That's a great idea. So if you were using a creamy store-bought dressing, just pour some of it in and add some of the milk into it.
That's right. Or again, you know, plain yogurt, even the Greek yogurt to keep that thickness.
That's great.
If you are serving a salad for a meal, dress it ahead of time in the serving bowl, because the amount that people pour on their plates individually usually tends to be more than they would have used had it been pre-dressed.
Right.
So
very good.
And one of the best options to do is, of course, to make your own dressings, and that's especially if you're looking to eat more whole foods, cut down on additives and such as preservatives and sodium and artificial flavors. And it's a lot easier to whip together a homemade dressing than you might think.
Do you need this side so that you can get over here? Okay.
So right now we're just going to whip together a creamy Caesar-style dressing, and for that all you would need is just thinned out a little bit, but some plain Greek yogurt, about 1/3 to 1/2 cup.
Love Greek yogurt, lots of protein.
2 to 3 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, fresh, or even if you want to buy the pre-grated, that's fine as well.
Okay.
About 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. Some fresh minced garlic.
And this is very yummy, I bet.
And a splash of the Worcestershire sauce.
Splash of Worcestershire.
Splash, I know.
Worcestershire is always hard to say.
You go ahead and say that for me.
I know, I always have a hard time with it.
And again, this looks a little thinner because I think the yogurt was, sitting in the bowl, but normally you'd have a nice, thick, creamy dressing.
But Melanie, that's a great option for a Caesar dressing. That's a lot healthier.
Absolutely, and quick.
Little pepper in there. Oh,
exactly.
That's great.
Well, and make a little mess.
In about 30 seconds that we have left, I want to talk about toppings. That's another way we sabotage salads, particularly if we're eating out. What are we looking to? What should we be adding to our salads? What should we not be adding to our salads?
Now, unfortunately, vegetables have kind of taken a back seat recently in terms of topping vegetables. Everything but seems to be the focus. However, they're coming back in a big way, especially roasted vegetables. So just about any vegetable, roasted, steamed, fresh, is great. Of course, avocados, lean protein like meat, organic tofu if you do eat soy, some hard-boiled eggs, cottage cheese. I have some of the full grain salads if they're not sopping in oil. That's one of the don'ts, is some of those pre-made mayo-based dressings or marinated dressings that have kind of been dripping and smothered in that.
They have them a lot at salad bars where they'll have that pasta salad that's dripping in oil. Again, you see here the topping don'ts: bacon, noodles, tortilla strips, and fried foods.
Right.
Melanie Zook, her website is freshstartnutrition.com. freshstartnutrition.com. Good information, Melanie Zook. Thank you.
Thanks
You're
delightful.
For having me.
Have a great one.
All right.